Oh, there we go. Oh Lord.
We do not own the rights to this music, but we are gonna vibe to it anyway, baby. Hang on, let me get that for you.
Start 2021 the right way. The mic up 1 2 1 2. Oh man. Dolomite.
Let me get that link and we can start the intro here. I think it's just our I think it should just be our Facebook. Because I'm streaming this to like 5 different places at once.
Right. I know you're like the exit route. I just need one from Facebook.
Okay, I got one for you. YouTube, all that. You let me know. Girl, you better give me that money. Woo! There we go.
Hit me. Okay,
right,
there we go.
You've been
I
hit.
see your link.
Okay,
so let me push this to.
We're gonna do this as soon as they go back from the chorus. Maybe I got your mind. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for fucking with us yet again, our silly asses. I am Corey Showtime.
I'm Kevin Monroe. That's right. What's up?
And together we make up the Showtime and Kev podcast. Let me get out of full screen real quick to get back to our regular screen. Oh man, it's been a crazy year. We made it all the way over into our first show of 2021. Thank you all for surviving.
Yes, sir. And before we get into this, of course, we have to start the show right. Let's bless 2021 the right way, Aishan. In the name of the one called Emperor Selassie, conquering tribe of Judah, King of Kings on Santa Cruz Reggae Music Festival with the Rasta, go on up in his peace, Lord of mercy. Bruck. More fire. Hope that
Happy
you heard.
2021. You can complain about 2020 all you want. Now you've had 3 full days to change your entire lives. It's all your fault now.
Yep. I hope everybody's lost weight and got better relationships with their family now and made 20,000 more a year. You know, everything's covered. You're straight. Yep. By the way, if you are listening to this broadcast, you have to realize that 1 out of 1,000 Americans died from COVID last year. So congratulations.
On the ground, dead. Yep. Appreciate y'all for still being here.
I'm a survivor. And by the way, a lot of those people were Showtime and Kev fans, so we have to rebuild our fan base.
How do I say goodbye?
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, they weren't paid subscribers. It's all right. So we need real people.
How you feeling, bro? How you doing today?
Man, you know what? This New Year's Eve was the wackest New Year's Eve. The last time my New Year's Eve was this whack, like I was in high school and didn't have a license to drive. Mm-hmm. You know, basically had to stay home and watch the ball drop with Dick Clark.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, you're old.
You know what
how long has he been gone for, man? Like it's been a minute.
Yeah, like 20 years, something like that.
No, it hasn't been. It cannot have been that long. I refuse to believe it's been that long since Dick Clark bit the dirt, kicked the bucket. I almost got them all mixed up.
It's been a minute, man. I mean, but this, think back to like high school where it's like you and like it was like me and like my little brother, my little sister, and it's like that time we were all like different ages. So I'm like 16 and just kind of like, man, I want to go out and party. I'm bored. And my sister's like 9 and she's having a great time. She's playing with the toys. And you're like, this is my life?
Yeah.
Like
this is exactly your life.
like I want to go and do adult stuff. What am I doing at home? And that's how I felt this 2020 New Year's Eve. I'm sitting at home. Nothing's really going on. I try to get on some Zoom parties. And this is the worst part. The Zoom, like LA's network internet traffic got so bad I couldn't get on a Zoom party.
Damn.
Like I logged on a Zoom and it just kept spinning and spinning and spinning. I was like, this is just like being on the 405. Like I can't go anywhere.
So there's traffic on the internet. So damn. So you're saying the bandwidth was so bad, even all the LA traffic that was normally in the streets is now in these internet streets.
Yeah,
Ouch.
exactly. All these industries. Yeah, I almost missed the New Year's raise a glass piece, man. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Hell with
How could
LA.
time out, time out. How could you live in this city on New Year's and miss the toast? I heard it because several explosions went off exactly at New Year's. Very
Mhm.
loud ones in my neighborhood, in your neighborhood, in everyone's neighborhood. I'm surprised anyone had the balls to fly a police helicopter last night, the night night of New Year's, because there was so much ordnance going off in the air.
Right, right. If you find a police helicopter New Year's Eve, that's like playing that new Star Wars Squadron game where you're just like, I'm hit, I'm hit.
Wedge, no! Use the force, Luke.
I'm going down into Compton. Oh
The force is
no,
strong with this one.
he's crashing in Compton. He's dead.
Yeah.
How,
Well, you
how was
crash,
your,
period. You're dead, but definitely. Huh?
how was your New Year's Eve, man?
It was cool. It was very laid back. We just chilled at the house, drank, and yeah, like waited for the explosions to go off and went to sleep.
Because you're not sleeping anyhow, right? You know,
Nah,
just pop it off.
it was loud.
Man, there were cats in the street throwing. You know, they have like the fireworks are just like on a string on a line.
Mm-hmm.
So you just like light them up and you just roll it out, and it just like
Mm-hmm.
blows up like Vietnam.
Yeah.
Right. And I was looking outside my window dying because I'm like, I don't know if people know this, but if you're not from LA, if you're not in LA right now in LA, because of COVID, all the emergency rooms are 100% capacity. Like all the hospitals are full right now. Right. So I was just laughing because I was like, look, if you're throwing fireworks out there and you blow your fingers off, it's a wrap, bro. Like ain't nobody gonna help you. Like you ain't have to learn to use the left now. That's just how it is.
Cold-blooded.
It's true. We have no hospital beds, dog. Like nothing. Like it's 100% capacity. That's why they were telling people, even if you don't have COVID, if you get in a car accident on New Year's Eve, man, you better, do some Rambo shit and, know how to, stitch your own self up because that's it.
Rambo shit is never good. That's never a good thing.
And when I say Rambo shit to the younger kids, there was a scene in Rambo 2, I think it was, where he got shot and dude like took a bullet, chopped the bullet open, like poured the gunpowder in the wound, lit that shit.
Like he literally, like I don't even. How is that sanitary? Like how is pouring gunpowder in a through and through wound, like and then lighting the gun? Like you just shot yourself twice. Like why would you do that again? Like I know it was to cauterize the wound, but it looked like the gun went off. Like pow, like the shit's like pow.
Right, in slow motion. So instead of like bop, it's like shh.
Yeah.
But as kids though, we're like, oh, he's a G.
Yeah.
Rambo for real. You can't kill that dude. He'll just take the gunpowder and reshoot himself.
Yo, you know what? You know what'll blow your mind? Just sorry to go. Like we're gonna go off tangent a little bit. Some real. I thought that was the pinnacle of tough guy shit because they parody it in movies like good shit. Or they take they light their knife on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Heat up the knife till the knife's all red.
Here's what I heard Marines have done in the battlefield. They carry tampons with them because if you get a bullet, pops perfectly in the hole. Really? And soaks up everything.
That's
the manliest dudes carry tampons. I'm talking SEAL Team 6.
They don't put that in. Why they don't put that in the movie though?
Because it's not exactly falling in line with Rambo. Yeah. Always with wings. Like it doesn't really work the same.
Oh, yeah. That's not gonna work for the recruiting videos. You know what I'm saying? The few, the proud, the Marines. They're like playing tennis on the beach. Like,
hey, ask your brother whether or not I'm full of shit. I don't know, but I've heard it. I've definitely heard that.
Well, I'm definitely asking my brother after this. But those of you know, my younger brother was a Marine. He's honorably discharged. He was he served. So anytime people have like any stories about military or want to like knuckle up, or especially these quote unquote gravy seals. These cats that want to like
Navy
cosplay.
SEAls. Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds great. That's hilarious. That's like an armchair quarterback.
Yeah.
Gravy
Yeah,
Seals. That's like a better
yeah.
name for I call the Team Trump the mayonnaise mafia, but the Gravy Seals is even better.
Yeah. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's dude that they want to play Call of Duty in real life, like they're
Yeah.
live action role playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, and that's honestly why I don't hope that this happens. I don't want to like root for violence and death. But if it actually comes down to a civil war between like our society and like the deplorables, it's gonna be kind of hilarious because they got weapons and shit, but like they're gonna be winded by like the first 4 or 5 hours. Like it's a wrap. Like the very very first thing they make you do in any military is get in shape. You are not.
Right. If you can't run, can't run 5K in a certain amount of time, you can't do it. You can't do 10-minute miles. Then you have no business doing it.
100%.
There's plenty of jobs in the office. You can sit down and like work on the computer, but you have no business being out on the streets running around with weapons. I mean, humping 50-pound packs and all that. The second thing is these people who want civil war. Like, do you understand what will happen if we have a civil war? Do you understand that you will not have water? Do you understand that
like Flint, Michigan, son?
Electricity will disappear. Like the supply chain of food will go away. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they don't really want it. Speaking of which, man, before we get too far off here, I just want to like give a shout out to all the people who followed us in 2020, number one, and shout out to all the people we lost in 2020 in various levels of gone too soon. I mean, of course, the headliner was Kobe Bryant,
man.
But I mean, there were a lot of cats that towards the end of 2020 just kind of like 2020 was like, before I go, I'm gonna just grab a couple of people with me.
Yeah,
like
MF Doom, like that was weird. Like I'm not even an MF Doom fan. I never really listened to his music, but just the fact that like he passed away and his peoples kept that quiet for 3 months. That's like, I was like, damn.
Oh really?
Yeah, I didn't know if that was like that's yet another rapper. We lost like 7 rappers, probably more than that this year. It's like
But MF Doom's not the kind of MF Doom's not like Pop Smoke. Like when Pop Smoke died, you're like, well, yeah. I mean,
well, here's the thing. Like Pop Smoke was popular. Like MF Doom had a following. Like that dude had a nation behind him. Like I didn't know. Like there was like all throughout me growing up, people was like, "Hey, you heard this dude?" And like I listened to something like, it's not for me. But like that dude had fans. So I know there's a lot of people hurting out there. But it's like it's crazy that they waited this long. And at first I was like, damn. Why would you wait 3 months to talk about a famous person dying? But and I'm sure they had their reasons. But then again, like they did it right before the end of 2020, so it was like, yeah, you don't want to start off 2021 with bad news. So yeah, we appreciate you leaving that this year. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's one way to kind of clean it up. The other thing is because MF Doom would perform all the time with that Dr. Doom face mask on. I mean, technically, you could have just had a sub for a while, and just kind of rode that for a minute.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened.
Hey, stranger things have happened, man. Yeah. But I mean, like what I'm saying, like he's not that dude on the street like going, so he probably died of some sort of like disease, natural causes. Pop Smoke was 20 when he got popped by smoke. So that's
then I can't even name how many rappers have gotten killed or passed away because a lot of them, like I know I'm getting old now because like I don't know, like I literally like this guy died and I'm like, that sucks. I've never heard a note of his music, but there's good people that are passing away, and Tekashi 6ix9ine is out there right now just being an asshole.
Yeah, he's sipping his Jamba Juice somewhere, like not even bothered, But meanwhile, like Lil X5 just died, and of course, the problem with some of these rappers is that's a dude's name, probably. I don't know.
Yes, like when X Station or whatever his name is, I'm sorry, passed away. Like I had heard a couple of the songs. Like, all right, this is kind of dope, but I still don't know how to pronounce that shit. Extentation, like it's 3 X's tentation spelled wrong.
I mean, dudes' names look like they were writing a name and a cat walk across the keyboard. It's like, okay, he's sticking with that. I mean, but some of these cats, like their lifestyle kind of puts them in that situation. But I mean, guys like Pop Smoke, like, you know, he got robbed. That's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I mean, MF Doom and cats like that, they're kind of in a different space. They don't need to have that kind of problem. Yeah. Some other one other thing I was going to say about MF Doom, I didn't realize this. This is how old school I am, which is MF Doom was part of a rap group called KMD. And I remember them from high school because KMD had this track called Peach Fuzz. And it was kind of like, it was kind of in that space. Like if you think about Native Tongue kind of style, like the Jungle Brothers, De La Soul, you know, that kind of style. So I remember KMD, I remember Peach Fuzz, and apparently his brother was the DJ in that. His brother got killed. And so he disappeared for a couple of years and he came back as MF Doom. But with the same lyricism. So I was like, okay, I kind of know who that is. But I didn't want to jump on the internet and be like, oh yeah, I remember him from KMD, because like everybody on the internet's like, who the fuck is KMD and how old are you really?
and here's the kicker, since you mentioned old. Like I saw that thing on my phone. I was like, MF Doom dead at 49. I was like, oh damn, that's 49. I was like, shit, that's like 49 is old for a rapper. I mean, like, well, not even old for a rapper. That just the mortality of where we're at in life hit me, because it's like he's older than both of us. Like 2 Chainz is damn near 50. Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg. Like we're at the age where rappers are dying of natural causes, and wow, like just
It wasn't supposed to be that way, but I mean, here we are.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, so a couple other cats that got snatched just before the year ended. Debo from Friday.
Oh, I mean, that sucks.
Did see
especially
that
out here in LA. A lot of people knew him. I didn't know him, but I met his wife, who was actually Felicia on Friday. Go figure.
Really?
No, they've been married a long time before that.
Okay. Yeah. That's a family affair right there. Hey, you need a job? Like, all right.
And you've noticed something like Ice Cube, like in his first couple movies, all the cast is pretty much the same. Like everybody that was in Friday was in Players Club and so on. You know.
Right. He kind of kept it in there like that. And by the way, this is actually why what's his name, Suge Knight, got mad when they were shooting I think when they were shooting Straight Outta Compton, because he thought he should have been in it somewhere, like for real.
And like actual Suge should have been in the movie.
Yeah. And so he was showing up. He was showing up at the set like dog. It don't work this way. He doesn't just show up like, yo, can I get a job?
And then he killed someone on camera.
Allegedly. Well, actually,
no.
he's
no,
okay. All right. Okay,
it's not alleged. It happened. It was used as evidence. It convicted him. He's in prison, and I saw it. It's horrible. The dude is dead. Like he just he backed up. It's not like bloody or anything, but you just know. Oh yeah, that dude's dead.
Yeah. I've seen the video. Yeah. So that was all bad. But I mean, a shout out to for Ice Cube for doing that and keeping his people paid.
Sorry to get off that tangent, but yeah, that's what the reason I brought all that up is because Debo is definitely LA like royalty out here, and he had been a wrestler beforehand and then got into acting, and Cube put him on, and then he's been Debo ever since. His name is Zeus Lister, Tiny Lister. I'm not sure what his real name is, but you know how the hood is.
Yeah. But I mean, dudes like that always crack them because, like, you know, he used to play football, and you know, there's big and there's big, and I mean, I'm tall, but I'm skinny. Then that dude is just big. Like, that's a big motherfucker. Like I don't want no problems, man. So
he could have never banged in his life, but you call him Triple OG.
Right. I had this whole sketch I was doing about him, like going after Mitch McConnell for the stimulus money.
Oh, still do it. Yeah. It'd be so worth it. He'd appreciate it.
You got on my stimulus, homie.
Yeah.
What you got on my stimulus, homie? I'm saying, okay, just to round up the list, some other cats that some of you may not even know. So Shabba-Doo from Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
He just recently,
Good.
like the day up, like New Year's Eve, I think.
Yeah, like 2 days before. Yeah, good friend
Mm.
of Ice-T. We already talked about MF Doom. Of course, Black Panther. That
Yeah,
was crazy.
Chadwick
I
Boseman.
just saw Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. He's really good at it, man.
It's really good, like just real straight up like dramatic theater acting. Like good job. Like it's well written. It was just like you could tell it was a play, but like he crushed that shit. Both of them, him and Viola.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, it's great. If anybody, if you want to see it, I'll lend you my Netflix password. You can watch it. A couple other cats. The real Joe Clark died. I did not know that.
Oh,
Like
the
the
dude
real,
not Morgan Freeman, thank God, but the dude that he
no,
played.
yes, the real Joe Clark.
Damn.
Move expeditiously.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh damn, it sucks he died, and then it's like, I thought he died years ago.
It's kind of one of those things. Like if you don't hear from a dude in years, you kind of think that they're long gone. It's like, whoa. But he's one of those old black people that like is like 92 and still like at your church, and you're like, why still?
Yeah, is Don King still alive? Like I think I've asked this before.
Not sure. That's a good question.
That's how infamous he is. Like we ain't seen him in like 10 years. What the hell is he? He's still alive?
he's in heaven exploiting people for money. Another cat I didn't really know about until I read up about him was Charlie Pride.
Oh yeah, the country singer, right?
Yeah. Apparently, he used to play like Negro League baseball, minor league baseball before he got into singing country music.
Wow.
And all I have to say about that is any black man that sings country music gets my respect. Like, yeah. I don't know what you have to do to go to a country music concert and make it from outside to the stage and back.
It's actually one of those things where I would give more credit to like if you did it today, because yeah, definitely back then it was like, oh yeah, we'll string you up, but like it was more like, I think depending on who you talk to, we invented country music and then it went the same way rock and roll and that old chestnut.
Yeah. I mean, white people kind of like sort of bogarted the thing, but country. I mean, of course, country and rock and roll are all like cousins and stuff. They'll come from the same place. A great record to listen to is, of course, Ray Charles sounds in modern country western. So you see the connection. I mean, Ray Charles sang country, but he kind of kept it in that sort of mainstream way. Charlie Pride was country. Like he's going out there with with people. I'm just like, keep the engine running, dog. Like, I don't know how you doing this.
And he had a life though, man. Like Negro League baseball player turned country singer just passed away this year. So he was like 90-ish. Like he was up. He had a long run. Right.
Yeah, I figured that's the kind of black dude that ain't scared of shit.
Not a goddamn thing.
It's like
he's seen it all.
I mean, those are the kind of old black dudes that when they tell you that they went to jail for a couple of years, you kind of go like, yeah, okay, I can see that. Like back in like the 1940s or 50s or something. Like James Brown was in jail for a couple of years. You're like, okay, well, that's kind of.
I can just imagine that hair in prison.
Nah, I don't think he had it done that way. Nah. And last but not least, sort of infamously, another cat, rest in peace, Herman Cain.
Yeah, damn, I forgot all about that.
Y'all just threw that dude under the bus.
And you know who else forgot all about that? The Trump administration. They didn't say rest in peace. They didn't even wave goodbye to that nigga. Nobody showed up at the funeral. They forgot. Like, right. Who was this like random black guy that voted for us? Like they're like, Ben Carson died. It's like no, that's Herman Cain.
Yeah. Ben Carson only looks dead. He's still alive.
Oh, that's cold-blooded. And he died of COVID.
Yeah. And I mean, it's cold because the last time we saw him, he was at a Trump rally, literally in the Negro section of the Trump rally. There was a Blacks for Trump section.
You're absolutely right. That's like they put him in a pen. Like, God,
Yeah, yeah. Him, and the other black woman. I forgot her name. Who was there? She also passed from COVID.
Candace Owens, I think.
No, we wish, but no.
We wish. No, we don't. They can
Okay,
have her.
yeah, okay, yeah. The black
Candace
delegation
Owens shows her side. Good luck.
Yeah, man. As a side note about Candace Owens, people need to look up her history, realize that she was a Democrat and sued somebody for racial discrimination before she realized there's more money and going to the white side. So I mean, I can't take it. I can't take anything she says seriously because she doesn't believe it. I bet in like 2 years she'll cut her hair off and just decide to do Green Party. Whoever's making money, basically. So
I can't wait for the day she shows up with her hair natural and a dashiki.
Black power, my brothers and sisters. She'll do that thing when she go to Africa and come back like transformed.
Her and Dr. Umar are gonna be doing Instagram shows together in the next 4 years. I can see it.
Shout out to Dr. Umar. I don't know what game he's running, man, but
Dr. Umar entertains me. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure he's wrong with everything he's saying, but it's fun to watch. He's like, no, brother, I'm telling you, the white devil has done told you to put this over here and get your mind over there. See, that way you ain't even thinking. You ain't even thinking like the black man's supposed to. You're thinking like the Kunda wants you to be.
Right. Yeah, and I'll watch him. I'll be like, yeah, that's really, that makes sense. All right, so let me get a number 7, like low fade. That's just what that is.
When you activate the coon chip in the average Negro. Oh man, that is like Candace Owens is 1, and Dr. Umar is right on the other side, about as far as you can get from each other.
But you know what though? Like the kind of games that they're running, like you can't. It's the kind of thing where you get the sense where you can see them like meeting somewhere at a bar and just like chopping it up about the game, because it's theater. And I forgot who was the there's this conservative talking head pundit kind of guy who used to do debates with this liberal guy, and they would meet before and after the debates, because it's like a traveling show, like you don't. It's like we're the Harlem Globetrotters. You're the Washington Generals. Like,
Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, I mean they don't really hate each other. Like, but they're nothing without each other.
Exactly.
And of course they're staying at the same hotels. They're booked at the same shows. They've got
it together all the time.
Yeah, so I mean those people really aren't diametrically opposed to anything. They're like, okay, now when I throw the left here, I want you to duck like this. And when I hit you with the chair, I want you to go, ow, and then run back in.
You know what it is? It's like if you go to a wrestling match and you just had the time of your life, right? And then and on the way out of the arena, you see The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels just hugging and having a good time and carrying on. And you're like, you guys just kicked the shit out of each other. And they're like, no, he didn't. I mean, yeah, but like, yeah, this guy's my buddy. Like, he's my coworker. I can't, we make a lot of money together.
Right. I can't just come out here and fight myself. Like, I need somebody to we got to work this out.
Exactly.
So the Candace Owenses of the world, and the Dr. Umars of the world, there's probably like a bar somewhere, like, that bar in like Star Wars where all the animals meet, and they just all hang out. All the creatures just got to get together. Exactly. Like it doesn't matter, man. So speaking of this, we kind of intimated at it earlier about Debo attacking Mitch McConnell for the stimulus. Have you gotten your stimmy money yet, man?
I have.
Oh, you got your stimmy?
I did. It showed up right on New Year's Day of all times.
Oh, damn. Okay, so what do you do with your stimulus, man? You gonna flip it, double and flip it?
I bought some weed and I'm paying bills with the rest. Very practical.
Okay. I mean, according to Republicans, you're just gonna buy crack and and buy new Jordans. So.
I mean, I bought weed and like a $5 video game on Steam. I mean, yeah, I'm wasting away. I'm wasting this stimulus back. What do you expect us to do with $600 fucking?
I know it's like,
I mean, for real, I've literally wasted more than that on a craps table. Like, what do you want? Like, and I'm broke most of my life. So, like, what do you like? What are we supposed to do with that?
and it's not even. I thought it was 600. That's cool. 600 a week. Okay, I could work with that.
One time.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know how old these white people are in Congress,
Very.
but maybe when they were our age, like $600 could like feed a family of 12. And keep your horses with nice horseshoes on.
Here's the crazy thing, though. It doesn't matter what money was like when they were young. They make $6,000 a week. To break down to like a low paid congressman of like 200 grand a year, and I'm probably way off on that math. It's probably like probably 175, but that's not even counting what they make on the side. You know what I'm saying? It's like being an athlete.
Right.
It's like you make money from your contract, but the endorsements.
Right.
But
Right. Shell Corporation.
Shell
Right.
Corporation, bribe money, legislation,
Exactly.
kickbacks. So
I'm Mitch McConnell, and I drink Goldman Sachs.
yeah. And they think that money, like, think $600 is enough to subside to take care of anybody who hasn't paid their rent since March. Like, we've gotten $1,200 one time. We got a boost on unemployment if you lost your job, which is definitely run out by now, and
Right.
a $600 payment one time, pretty much in the last week. And Canada, who we like to shit on, of like, you don't want their health care, they get $2,000 a month from Jump Street.
Yeah, a month. I mean, that keeps coming. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, keep people out the streets, keep them away from their jobs, let the virus go down, and then everybody could go back to work. But nah, that's not how Americans do it. I don't understand, because this is the richest country in the world. I mean, you could do it that way.
We should do it that way, Kevin. But in order for us to be the richest country in the world, I don't even know if this is true, but I know this is just how it is. Our country is and has been run on desperation. So whoever we can screw hard enough to work hard enough to make this money, we've got more than enough to pay everything off and give back to the people. We just not gonna do that, because then you wouldn't have this beautiful thing here that we have in America, where everybody's so greedy that they're trying to boost themselves up simply to piss off their neighbor.
Well, it's a false sense of competition. I mean, it doesn't have to. It doesn't really work, right? Because
the American dream.
Yeah, I mean, because you can't really outcompete your way in this economy, because the money, like the borders, people can't travel through borders, but money travels through borders, right? So I don't care how hard you work here in America, you are not going to beat a Mexican in Monterrey, Mexico, working for $3 an hour without overtime. There's no way to beat that.
You're not going to beat one in the Monterey Peninsula, California.
Exactly. You're not going to beat a 5-year-old in Thailand who's making your clothes. Okay, there's no way to beat that, because the money travels, right? You don't, but the humans can't. The labor doesn't. So it's a losing game. There's no way to beat that. So I mean, you might as well just say, hey, look, there's no way to compete your way to the top. We might as well share the wealth. And
share.
And the guys at the top
share the wealth.
Jesus Christ. The guys at the top made $1.6 trillion. They could give $100,000 to every American. Yep. Right, 100,000 times 300 million. That gets you about 3 trillion.
3 trillion? Yeah. I'm bad with the decimals when it comes to that shit.
Yeah. So 300. So 100. So let's see. 300,000 times 10 is 3 million. 3 million. Wait, was it saying no? 300 million.
A calculator somewhere within.
3 billion times 100 is 300 million. Yes, 300 billion. Yeah, that'll get you to $3 trillion. Give everybody $100,000, and that's crazy. So drop it in half, 1 point, so 50. So you get $1.5 trillion, which is exactly how much the Jeff Bezos of the world made. I mean, and you take that money away from those guys, they're still billionaires. So I mean, there's no difference. I don't see why they don't just say, hey, everybody gets 50 grand. Oh, you pull out the calculator?
I'm trying to focus it. It won't focus. But yeah,
it's
15.
right.
It's 15 trillion, I believe, to give everyone $50,000. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 zeros.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay, we'll cut it down. Okay, give everybody 5 grand. It's still whatever that'll cover.
They're
like,
trying to give everybody 2 grand, and that was supposed to cost 3 trillion. That should have been it right there. But no, actually, I think it was like 900 billion. 900 billion would have paid for that, and then it was still like something was way off. It was like 700 still paid for everything else. So it was like you only needed 200 billion.
Well, they threw in some military spending as well, of course, because you got to support the troops.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you're not supporting the troops; you're supporting the military-industrial complex. The troops don't get none of that fucking money. The troops is just as poor as we are. You know that. Yep. Your brother's he's in your family. You know how much, like, how well or not he's doing.
Yeah. But you need to build those invisible planes, because apparently we're fighting Wonder Woman.
Those invisible planes do come in handy. They're not actually invisible, but on the radar, you never see the bomb.
Right. Well, Trump thinks they're invisible. So I mean, he was really surprised. He's like, I thought these were invisible. I could see them. They're right there.
I can laugh now because we survived that shit. Like, we really had a giant toddler as the president of the United States and thought that shit would work.
So we're getting ripped off. I can see this plane. Like, why is this? I mean, so basically, like, yeah. I mean, the stimulus money should have come through. I don't know what's going to happen to people. Basically, what might happen, we predict, is when Joe Biden becomes president, they'll do some sort of emergency funding, send out some money, see what they can do. So if people can just basically not die for the next 20 days, you'll be all right. Welcome to 2021. Don't die.
But there's also what are they planning to do on the 6th? I've heard rumblings, but have you looked into this at all?
On January 6th, what they're planning to do is, okay, so what's supposed to happen on January 6th? And this is so stupid. Right out the gate, this is not okay. So first of all, let me just make it very clear: nothing is going to go wrong. Okay, there is no legal path to them changing the votes. Right?
Gotcha.
All the states have certified the elections. All the legal stuff is done. There's no legal motions pending. States are certified. They passed the safe harbor date after which you cannot undo things. So you can't play tricks like change the electors and stuff like that. Right? There's no games to play anymore. But what's supposed to happen is the vice president's supposed to open the envelope and say, and the winner is bah, 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 and that's it. But if one senator objects, then they have to call a debate about why they would object. Right? Now, the debate can only last for 2 hours, but the way they're trying to spin it, like, oh, we could have a 10-day delay. No, maximum 2 hours, and it still has to come to a vote. They don't have the votes in the House, so this is nonsense. All these are the people who are like, they're posturing to their people to be like, oh, I try to fight. Basically, it's that dude that is like, hold me back, but it's not gonna lay hands ever in the fight.
Gotcha. Can you add, where did the 10 days come from?
They made that up. It's not a thing. They literally made that up. Like, there is no law anywhere at all whatsoever that says a 10-day delay of any sort. None. They just made the shit up. Okay. Absolutely made it up.
Okay. For, I guess, what will be the millionth time, not necessarily to you, but just into the ether, to the universe. Why are we letting them get away with this? Like, why are we even allowing them to get... How do we allow them to get to where they're trying everything just shy of a military coup?
Well, okay. Well, they can say whatever they want on the news. Okay, you're not under oath when you go on Fox News or Newsmax, whatever, right? So they propose that. They threw it out there, and this is what Trump does a lot. He'll throw what we call like trial balloons out there to see if it sticks. And every legal counselors, like everyone's jumped in immediately and said, "What the fuck are you talking about? There is no 10-day anything at all." Like the rules are very, very clear. If one senator objects, there's a 2-hour debate, there's a vote, and that's it. Right? There's literally no legal, constitutional, no precedent whatsoever. So they just made that shit up. So why are they doing this? Because it's the same reason that we try to get likes on Facebook and we try to get Instagram followers. We're doing it for our fans, right?
Okay, I get that. But my question was, like, why are we entertaining this in any way, shape, or form? Like, half of the shit that Trump has done since he's lost the election, much less what he did to obstruct the election, much less what he did to obstruct justice in the last election. Why are we allowing this to continue? Like, someone should have just grabbed the hook, pulled this guy off the stage, swept it up, like.
Oh yeah. Well, Sandman Sims, rest in peace. He would have definitely helped out. The Showtime at the Apollo, where they blow that whistle, Sandman Sim comes out with the big broom, not the small broom, but the one they use in high school. That's this wide that covers the whole corridor.
The gym sweeper, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, you ain't escaping that one. It's not the little broom; it's the wide broom. So. The reason he gets away with this shit is because the media needs the clicks, right? I mean, politics tends to be boring, and this dude he's generating excitement. I mean, people want to watch this bullshit. So it's
can't argue that.
It's nothing else. I mean, it's basically it's all the shit you hate about reality television applied to politics, right? I mean, some people want to watch women like throw birthday cake at each other and and pull hair. Like that's entertainment to a lot of Americans, and that's exactly what we're getting in politics. I mean, of course it's nonsense, but some people like that shit. So
I just had an epiphany as to why I've been so irate for the last 4 years. Politics irritates me. I hate reality TV. Multiply them together and you have an exponential number of irritations for me. So I'm not crazy. That's just how the world has been for the last 4 years.
Yeah. It's like a crossover between Real Housewives of Atlanta and Meet the Press. It's not great. And
we let the Jersey Shore fuck the president.
And I mean, the latest thing that popped off today, I just saw this last night. And again, this is one of the hard things about doing this podcast, but it's also funny, is that I'll write stuff about what we should talk about, and then something happens like 2 hours before the show, and I'm like, well, I gotta talk about this. Okay. So President Trump, they got him on tape
again,
pressing the Secretary of State in Georgia. His name is Brad Raffensperger. So he's on the phone call with Brad Raffensperger saying, "Find me some votes. I just need 11,780 votes." Like, this is not some abstract dude said, "I need 11,780 votes. Find them. I don't care how you do." Like, dog. Like, have you never watched The Wire? You're on the phone, they're taping you. Motherfucker, don't you know he's supposed to use a burner? Like, what are you doing?
Okay. Now, excellent point, Kevin. Now, so fucking, this is our government.
Do some gangster shit.
On The Wire. The reason you don't say that dumb shit on the phone is because there are consequences. You will go to jail. Right. Apparently, you can't just grab the president and lock him up. That's apparently the only reason he's been able to get away with it. He has some weird immunity that you just can't arrest this motherfucker. So on January, what time's the inauguration? At 9 a.m. on January 20th?
Yeah.
9:05.
No, sorry, yeah, you're right. The president becomes president at 12 noon, but the inauguration starts at 9.
Okay, on our time. At 9:05, I want to see this motherfucker in a paddy wagon crying the spray tan off his face. I want to hear I want to see the charges crawl across the screen like Star Wars.
Because in a normal world, like if you're on the wire and you say that shit, that's when the unmarked van busts open and everybody's like, okay, we got him, and they just run right in and that's it. Right?
Oh, it was the bakery guys. Oh, damn it, I should have known.
Right. Because they're just waiting for you to say those words.
Yeah, and he's gonna rush him into a catering van and never see him again.
Yeah. I mean, he's on there, and the funny thing is what's his name is hard to pronounce. Raffensperger, he had his lawyer on the call with him too.
Smart.
So his lawyer's behind there going, Mr. President, you can't do that. We've already like exhausted all the legal options. He's like, well, there's fraud, right? And I need 11,700. Like, you need to find those votes, and you know what you're doing is a crime, and this could put you in legal jeopardy. So he's basically threatening him that he could get in legal jeopardy, and he's pushing and pushing and pushing. And at that moment, like, this is the part where they go, okay, we got him. All right, team move in. Bitch, set me up. In
a normal world, in a normal situation, that's what would happen. But
he would have been married and buried. He would have been married and buried.
But in this world, no, it boggles my mind that so many normal people can get in trouble for nothing, and this dude skates on the most ham-fisted espionage I've ever seen in my life. It's the worst James Bond ever.
This is like The Sopranos, but like down market. Like this is the kind of thing that should be happening in like the back of a deli in Queens.
Yeah,
with a bunch of greasy guys with their wife beaters on with chains. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not coming back here for my money.
This is like if The Sum of All Fears was written by Mario Puzo.
Seriously, this is bad Godfather. I'm like, dog. Next meetings you should be on a park bench in the middle of the Baltimore projects.
Not even a park bench, old beat up, knock the fuck out couch.
Right. Look at Marlo. That's how Marlo did business. Okay. Did Marlo get on the phone and say, I need 12 keys? No.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen The Wire 15 years ago, Marlo never went to jail.
Yeah.
He killed a lot of people.
Yeah. And he bounced because they had no records, nothing on tape. I mean, he would come and talk to you. Yeah. And even the Greeks, remember the Greeks showed him the game. Yeah. Where the Greeks was like, okay, here's a phone. Here's what you need to do. You need to text this number. I'll text this number, and we'll meet somewhere in between. But we don't talk business over the phone. Yeah. Rule number 1: never talk business over the phone. Like how? I mean, dog, go listen to Biggie's 10 Crack Commandments. Like anything. Like, how are you going to be running this game and not knowing like the most like?
But that's the thing. He's been so rich and powerful and white that he's never had a single consequence. Even when he loses his court cases, he just like files appeals and stretches the shit out so long. He'd rather spend money being petty than ever pay you. And so he's never had to actually get his comeuppance. So this is another thing that's just like, how have you been able to have 75 years? Like, are you that rich? Like, I mean, like, you've lied about your money for so long. Like, Jeff Bezos can't do this shit, or can he?
Jeff Bezos, he could do it for 5 lifetimes. Jeff Bezos could. Yeah. I mean, we're actually very lucky that Jeff Bezos isn't just having weekly human sacrifices in Seattle, just lopping people's heads off and throwing them down a pyramid.
Time out. I worked for Amazon. You don't know
that. Maybe he is. Like every
week, heard about their work conditions. That could be like, that's probably what they do on break.
Yeah, every Friday at the top of this pyramid, he just lops the head off and lets it roll down the thing like Apocalypto. He drinks the blood. And
whether it's a ritual or not, I mean, that just happens in their factories. So, wipe down the thing. 0 days since last incident.
I mean, but it really begs the question: can this dude get arrested for anything? I mean,
I don't think so. Like, I mean, he's done everything. Like, do you have any idea how bad, like, how much of a horrible person you are, no matter how powerful you are, for your lawyers to go to jail, for your wife to get a fucking stunt double,
Mm.
and
Right,
for
right.
everyone else to just disavow you completely?
Right, right. To the point where like you've got like the sex trafficking ring that you're a part of is the least of your worries. I mean, because that's coming. Because remember the second in command of that sex trafficking ring, she's in prison right now. She tried to do a $25 million bail, and they said no.
She
I
had
mean,
that shit too. Like, she had that ready to go. She had that in a Gucci bag just for rainy days.
right there. I mean, check the glove compartment. But I mean, you know how bad your shit has to be. I have never heard. Have you ever heard of a $25 million bail offer? I've never heard that. I've heard million
Outside of
dollar bails.
that sounds like something you give Pablo Escobar, and he would have paid that shit and just left. Like, like, that's why.
Sure.
Like, if you can make a bail that high, it's usually to like just prove a point. Like, yeah, we think you're guilty or whatever. Like, you're definitely not a flight risk. But that would be like say I don't know what my bail would be if if a serious crime to keep me in jail, like $100,000 or something like that. That's their version of $100,000 to her. But the difference is she had, like, again, she has that in a Gucci bag. They'd be like,
Right.
madam, we have bad news. The bail is $25 million.
Hmm.
Madam, if you go into my closet and check the bag, I have 3 of those. Pick the lightest one. That's 25. I think the other one is 50 and the other one is 100.
Exactly. Or if you cannot find the bag, just go in the glove compartment. There's a gold bar in there.
Take a little bit for yourself.
Yeah, cut the gold bar in half, and like give him half, and then the rest. But I mean, 25 million, they won't give it to her. Like that's how deep. And the other cat. I mean, he killed himself repeatedly. So I mean, like how you in jail and all of a sudden the cameras go off and then you dead the next day. Like, okay, all right, well, yeah.
That was a conspiracy that nobody disagrees with, but nobody cares. Like, that's how bad Jeffrey Epstein was. Like, we all know he was murdered in prison. Nobody
Right.
cares.
Yep, yep. I mean, that's like that Barksdale. Like you knew exactly what happened. What life you snatch? Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's at that point now where we're just like, all right, we know all the things that he's alleged to do. We've known all the things that people have said he's done. Now here he is on tape. I mean, okay, so the transcripts before with the Ukrainian president of Ukraine and so on, that was all transcripts. That was, what was, but you don't hear like the actual voice, the words. This is an hour-long tape of this dude, like, just make it happen. I don't care how you make it happen, get it.
Mhm.
And I mean,
I'm
that's
just
like
getting the AP news bulletin about what you're just talking about.
you just like, okay. So there's like a 5-minute clip if you're watching. It's a 5-minute clip that's worth listening to where you kind of get the gist of it. And for anybody that says, "Oh, it's out of context," you could listen to the entire hour-long tape too. And it's even worse than the hour-long tape because I mean, a dude is straight up like threatening. And of course, the runoff for Georgia is happening on Tuesday. So the 2 Republican senators, was this the 6th?
Is that the 6th? Yeah.
Yeah. The 2 Republican senators who are waiting for the runoff. No, 5th. Tuesday is the runoff. So the 6th is the confirmation. Okay. So on the 5th, they're gonna have to go there and say, "Oh yeah, we're totally on the up and up," and all they have to do is play this like mob boss shit in the background. I think those guys are washed, like they're finished. I mean, what were you gonna say?
What was the guy? What was the guy that Trump was talking to? What was his name again?
His name is Brad Raffensperger.
Brad, like, I don't want things to happen to you, Brad. You're gonna have to find me those votes. I'm gonna need that 12,000. I'm not saying what's gonna happen. I've heard things. I mean, exactly. He is from Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, yeah, I mean, okay. Need to talk to you about this. Need to come alone, unmarked warehouse. Make sure you're not tailed.
And we just let this happen though. Like, I mean, like, here's the sad thing, and it's gonna sound horrible, but I'm probably right. We could have let Al Capone run the country. He would have did a better job.
Al Capone was organized.
Very. Ran a tight
Just
ship. I mean, it's essentially what we did, except Al Capone was a real bad dude. Trump's a horrible, horrible person, but he's never ever had to punch anybody in the face in his life. That's kind of the problem. He's never punched or been punched in his life. That's why we got what we got. That's why he is the way he is. It's a very important thing
yeah,
in being a man, just learning what you're gonna do in a confrontation.
yeah. I mean, he's sort of hid behind his money for a long time. I mean, I think it's. I mean, and this is the first thing he's ever tried to do where he couldn't buy, berate, bullshit, or bury. Like we the people, we're not putting up with this shit. I mean, the votes are the
We
votes. That's it.
have though. That's what's bothering me. Is it like I feel like as a whole, I know America ain't united on shit, but like we gotta see this for the writing on the wall that it is. Like the dude's been clearly doing this shit. Like you ain't gotta be intelligent to see like, damn, that looked pretty obvious. That looked pretty blatant. And we just let it
Right?
go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of push it to an extreme, you know. So I mean, that's just how that. I mean, I don't think you could have another person like this after this. Like this is just because what you're watching is there's a lot of people coming up behind him who are trying to play the same game, who are trying to have the same shtick, but it doesn't work because they know better and they could be embarrassed. So like Josh Hawley, who is the senator from Missouri, who's going to try to block the thing happening on Wednesday. He went to Yale, he went to Stanford. These guys are they know the law. So they're not. See, he's really stupid and he's really ignorant. Trump is really stupid and ignorant. So he can pull that off. If you went to Stanford and you went to Yale Law School, you can't in a straight face pull that off because someone's gonna be like, "Come on, bro."
You
You
went
know,
to
you
Yale. You went to
yeah,
Stanford. Come
yeah,
on.
you're
They
not
don't let dummies
yeah.
in it. You gotta be smart to play football at those schools.
Right. They don't let that shit slide. So, you know.
Mm.
Um so okay. All right. So I need to take a really quick break. Just be right back in a second. In the meantime, uh play some more Dolomite.
While Kevin's away, I'll take this time to promote Robinson Comedy Services. We'll be doing Zoom shows throughout the 2021 calendar until we're allowed to get back into these comedy clubs and venues. We're really sitting here with you, wishing that live entertainment could return to venues and live and places of gathering. But in the meantime, we're here committed to giving you the highest quality comedy content, much like this podcast, and comedians that I know and love, and I know you will too. So please keep an eye out for us on Instagram, Facebook, and a website coming soon. That's right, Robinson Comedy Services. Kevin is taking a shit. Sometimes, when you eat Taco Bell for breakfast, that's what happens. I'm gonna keep going because he's gone. And he can't defend himself right now. But either way, did you hear what I said about Taco Bell? No, he didn't.
Oh my god. My almost knocked my lights over.
Yeah. I said, Kevin is taking a shit. And when you eat Taco Bell for breakfast, sometimes, and that's when you came back.
Taco. Uh, by the way, Taco Bell, I hate your commercials. I hate this like weird nacho fries thing with looks like a horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I just like I don't like okay, your food's already horrifying. I don't need the extra layer of attachment there. But sorry, I was distracted. It got to me. This this bathroom break brought to you by Taco Bell.
It's not that bad. Like you've reached a new level of fat when you eat Jack in a Box sober.
Um, Jack in the Box has never disappointed me in the flavoriness of the way it goes in and the horror in the way it comes out. Like
Yeah,
it's just like you know what you're setting yourself up for.
yeah.
It's just like yeah, I'm gonna this is gonna hurt. But I don't care right now.
And here's the thing: I'm fat. I can't judge anyone on their health or diet choices, but I'm definitely judging you if you make a conscious
Yeah.
decision to go to Jack in the Box while you're not fucked up with the daylight out. Like, why would you do that?
Um, it's a little bit of punishment, I guess, like a little bit of self abuse, bit of self flagellation. Hurt me, Jumbo Jack, hurt me. Oh,
Yeah, I've definitely been in the middle of nowhere with 99 cents, and I still didn't go to Jack in the Box.
you're missing the joy, man. I mean, that's one of the great things about being on the road for comedy. It's like you somehow convince your brain that it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
okay, normally when I'm home, I'm not eating Jack in the Box,
Oh my
but I'm on my way to Tracy to do a show. Hey, get some curly fries. It doesn't matter, right?
It was one time I think I was either in Montana or Utah. I was doing a show and I stopped at an Arby's with the headliner because he liked it there, and he was the first person to ever like I have this whole bit about Arby's being a drug cartel covered.
Right? Because you never see anybody eat at Arby's, right? Like that's
Exactly.
not a thing.
And then we went there and I ate there and I was like, yeah, this is a drug cartel. There's no fucking way people want this.
Right. It's kind of like when you go to Chinatown, you see like a lamp store that only sells lamps, and you're like,
Mhm.
yeah, there's people packing shit up in the basement, isn't there? I
Yeah.
mean,
Like, come on.
how many lamps are you really selling here? Like, what are you doing?
I don't know what your rent is, but this is San Francisco. There's no fucking way.
You know what I love about Chinatown in San Francisco? If you go on like Craigslist or any of those places to like rent an apartment, Chinatown looks like a big dead spot in the middle. I mean, at least
Ooh.
back when I used to live there, like
Mhm.
uh, like the entire surrounding area, like rents this, and this, and Chinatown is just a dead spot. Like there's nothing for rent at all ever.
Yeah, because
It's
it's like
just
they're like 5 generations deep of just Chinese people living there. I'm assuming. I don't want to be
there's
too racist.
no, but I mean, I guess they just kind of keep it off the grid somehow, But the maps, I mean, for whatever reason, I mean, maybe they just want to keep it in the family. Maybe it's like protected by rents, and they don't want to rent outside. I don't know what it is, but it's just funny to look at the map because you look at it and it's like, what the hell is this like Area 51? Like are they like government labs there? What's that? It's like no, that's Chinatown. It's just
Okay, I think we have like probably time for one more topic, and I'm sure we jumped off tangent or whatever we were just on. So
um, yeah, okay, I got lost for a second. Um, yeah, I was going to talk about this thing that was trending about being dad, but it's not all that. I mean, it's not all that interesting.
being dad
It,
or being a
yeah,
dad.
no, being dad. It's just some this the survivalist dude. This guy's a survivalist. These guys that want to live off the grid. He has a podcast. And first of all, how are you a survivalist with a podcast? I don't understand. I mean, there's nothing more on the grid than doing what we're doing here, being on a dinner.
That's
But
an
anyway,
excellent point.
he has a daughter, and apparently his daughter was hungry, and she didn't. He told her to open a can of beans. She didn't know how to open a can of beans, so he let her struggle with a can opener and the beans for like 5 or 6 hours until she figured it out herself.
Damn.
And then he was like, "See, well, this is how you have to train your kids, so they can, be survivors and rugged individualists." And I think Child Protective Services was like, "Yeah, okay, where do you live again?" And it's just kind of one of those like, and I think it blew up because it made people think about America and how Americans, they have this weird cultural idea that everybody needs to fend for themselves,
Yeah.
And it's like the pandemic is exactly the example of why that doesn't work. Where here's a situation where we all need to care about each other and not just fend for ourselves, and we are failing because we can't do that as a country.
You know what's really interesting living here my whole life is that America swears it's not a Christian nation, even though it says it's a Christian nation, and it does the most non-Christian. It has the most non-Christian attitudes towards things like healthcare and poverty and homelessness, and I'm pretty sure Jesus would have like fed and clothed the poor and healed the sick and
Well, yeah, but with the $5,000 copay, Jesus is like, "Come on to me, ye children who have Kaiser Permanente.
Yeah. I think we just it goes back to that competition. Like the thing that kills me I guess the straw that breaks the camel's back for me when people that argue against welfare, the people that say, well, I've been to the grocery store and I saw someone paying for lobster and shrimp and steak on EBT. And I'm like, you realize that's still a finite number on that card, right? Like those three things are probably going to take up that whole week. Like that family is probably like she probably saved that for months for like her son's graduation or something. Like, why do you even care? Like,
Right.
get out of my cart. Like,
Yeah,
you want me to eat poor too?
it's a weird idea that if you're poor, you need to live miserably and eat horribly and have no care until you earn the right for steak and lobster.
Yeah.
And and that's not the way the world works. Everyone deserves good food. Everyone deserves like clean water. I mean, the joke I used to make all the time about people saying I won't give homeless people cash because they'll just buy drugs. It's like you do drugs too. The only difference is that you do it indoors.
Yeah.
You know?
They're just gonna buy drugs with it. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do with my money.
And you too, yeah, exactly. So you're
This is
gonna judge
LA.
it.
Everybody buys drugs. What the fuck? Like, even it doesn't even have to be illegal drugs. There's a drugstore at every corner. Everybody buys drugs.
Yeah, it's the idea that somehow that unless you earn a certain amount of money, you don't deserve the comforts that all human beings want is ridiculous.
Yeah,
You
we have this monetary merit system that makes little to no sense. Where it's like, if you have more money, that means I should respect you more because there might be something I need to learn from you because I don't have that much money, and we just decide like, oh, this person, like we project these qualities on the people that have money. We think that like that's why they're infallible or seen to be infallible or can get around the laws because we allow them to get away with that shit because we hope to one day be that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at some point, you think at someday I'll be like Trump, where I could just walk around and do gangster shit, and no one's gonna, tell me otherwise.
That's the American dream.
to be
idolize the shit out of that. Everybody loves
so
50
bad.
Cent.
It's so bad. I mean, like that's not the way to be. I mean, like societies can't hold together that way. Everyone's just out for themselves, So I mean, that's it's just, well, I don't know how long this will last, but we're definitely seeing society sort of teetering and on the verge of collapse because of this attitude. I mean, I think we're going to be stuck with this till 2022. I mean, I don't know how we're going to get out of this.
Yeah. Like the people being selfish about
motherfuckers were getting DUIs this New Year's Eve. I mean, like that's stupid twice. Like, where are you going on New Year's Eve 2021 anyway? I mean, 2020 anyway.
How did you even get out to get drunk to get caught?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you stupid twice. Like how?
Yeah. I was trying to make a joke at the open mic about how like I stopped drinking for a month because like there's no bars or anything. Like I got too faded at home, and it was like something's wrong when your girlfriend has to take your keys and you're at the house. It's not even because I was threatening to go anywhere. It's because I was just drunk like a baby, just like jangling the keys, and she got irritated.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm good. No. You can't make it to the bedroom. You have to sleep here in the living room.
We can't trust you. Drunk. I'm definitely
can't trust you to go that far.
It's like the bathroom is the only place you're allowed to sleep tonight.
Oh, that sweet cold porcelain. Ooh. Oh God. Those days are done, hopefully.
Me too. I hope.
Matt, well, I mean, first show 2021. We're back in the saddle. Glad to see you, Corey.
You too, man.
I mean, we're gonna keep the show rolling. I don't really have anything coming up soon. Like we're still locked down in LA until further notice. So the restaurant I was going to perform at, they're not even open anymore. So so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I don't even know how to like this comic's getting work, but I don't even know how to go about that right now. I don't know how to go about sending the veils to who for what. Like, I don't know I don't know if I want to risk going out there and getting sick. It's really a crapshoot. It sucks on all sides right now, but we're gonna keep doing the teleconference comedy thing as long as we can.
Yeah, that's a
Or as necessary, I should say.
yeah. I mean, Zoom shows aren't as great as live, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, man. So let's keep keep it moving, and everybody just survive in advance. Let's treat it that way.
Yeah. Exactly. Like we in the big dance, and you got one shot. You could win, but odds are bad. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. This has been another great show. I'm Corey Showtime.
Kevin Monroe.
Happy 2021. I hope all your dreams come true. Please do not give up on the weight loss thing. You could do it. At least make it to February.